KD Custom Woodworking. I'm Kevin Dunphy. I'm going to be your host tonight. I'm pumped because I'm getting near the end of this godforsaken job. It was hard. I didn't hire plasterers because as a cabinet maker, I've been in so many homes doing kitchens throughout the years, and especially new construction. And the biggest thing I always ask, let me in before molding goes up, as soon as you get the plaster done. So a lot of times I get the kitchen done, plaster and whatever, and go in. And I go back like 3 weeks and one of the things would open up. And you always blame the wood shrinking and this and that and, God's will, whatever the excuse of the day was. But I had a lot of experience in older homes, especially in Montreal. And they used to, when drywall first came out, they used to put chicken wire on this in the 60s and then plaster straight across. You would look at those homes and you would see zilch, not a thing. They were a nightmare to take off the wall. There'd be like metal here, slots here. But they were indestructible. And they probably had wheelbarrows and they were just mixing their mud. And, they had guys that were doing it. It was a real trade. A real trade. The only thing that irks me a bit on a lot of YouTube and whatever, they're showing, guys with a knife, go like this, boom, 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 done, and people think it's posture. It's an art. Don't kid yourself. I have 2 people with me now that really haven't done it. They were helping. They did good. They're buying into it. It took them several weeks to understand about getting it flat. They didn't understand that, if you're not flat, you're in for a world of hurt, and it's hard. It's hard to get it. It takes a lot of mud, everything else. So without further ado, I'm going to go here. So I did this wall here yesterday, and you can see I did the whole thing. I got a couple little ridges here, and we'll see why after. But this whole section here was done two different times, so it's kind of, not happening, as they say. So now what I'd like to do is go here, take off anything sticking, and put it here, and ridges, so we're going to get caught my plaster. I'm going to come all the way down here. And this I didn't invent. I saw it on YouTube. I was doing my research, and this roller method, man, does it save a lot of time. So we just kind of take a look at this. I got my roller. Notice how close I have it. I have a ladder there. I don't want to be bending and walking around, And
the big thing with the roller, what really saves you a lot is you'd be surprised how much plaster you go through when you're trying to level out a wall like that. The 2 halves, I already did the left, and then the right, I was trying to go. They were a little off skew because these old buildings followed the curve of the street, and they really tried to get every inch they could of their property. So they can be really out of square, and what I'm trying to do here is make sure it's level. But the beautiful thing about doing this is when you got your corner beads, everything out, you're building it right out, and you'll have a lot of plaster, and they'll protect future cracks in the future. So that's why I love it so much. And yes, it's hard work. It took about 40 minutes to do that wall.
Okay. Now, this is in real time. I'm running out of things to say on this. So that's my 2 cents. Just take control. Don't be a victim in this. Now, my 2 knives. No. I love this stainless steel. This is my 2 perfect knives. I can't handle much bigger than this. Coming down, getting that trowel. The more it is, the more it can be hard. Now it's set up a bit, and I use the all-purpose light. Like it's going to be, the light's going to be a little different in each area, manufacturing and things like that. So say one product. We're just using commercial. The other thing we did on the joints, I got a code, we used 90, which Duroc, like 90-minute drying, which hot mud on all the joints beforehand. So nothing's gonna crack. Now I'm gonna kind of go here. I'm not going left to right. I'm gonna stay away from this part where the part moves. So I'm just going ever so slightly. Now I'm not getting at the top there. I'm not happy about that. So let's fix that up right away. Let's don't come down. Now I'm going back this way, taking the excess. I can feel it. I'm low in that corner. I know I am. I'm going here, here, here. Now I can see I got my pressure pretty good. I'm not pressing too hard. Now I'm going to stop right about here. You can do it. You can play with it, like you're getting used to it. But remember, if I tried this on bare drywall, it wouldn't look like that. What happens a lot with the plaster, it telegraphs what's behind it. Like if it's nice and smooth, like when you spray paint, if you have a rough surface. So this I had a nice base and it's drinking out the water and it's a real dream to work like this. Could I take a big knife and go here like that? I gotta do it at the end. I could do it. This I can kind of go back and see what I'm doing right now. There's holes here, and I'm trialing them out because it's a little thicker there. Because this stuff you can only go so thick, and then you gotta get out the hole. So going like this, just gentle. And right here, how am I doing there? I'm low right here and I'm low there. So I'm gonna come back down here and I'm going this way. I'm gonna go that way. And then I'm going this way. And I'm going that way. And I picked up one little thing there. All right. I can feel it now. I can feel it. I'm at that sweet spot. It's drinking it. It's only because I got a lot of plaster, like we see here, that it's coming out like this.
I have a 14-inch knife there, and I'm able to go along and eyeball it. If I went much thicker there, I'd have a harder time. I'm comfortable with it. So if somebody wants to try this with a wider knife, go for it. It's really just kind of where, like, if you look in that corner, it's really sucked in compared to the rest of it. So I have to build that up in that top left-hand corner to bring it around and make sure that everything is kind of flat within reason. The big thing, the important thing with the troweling is getting all the air out. So when I come there and sand, you don't have little voids, and that's the big thing. And then by leaving it there, the drywall sucks out a bit of water, but there's also, like I said, a glue in there that acts and really sticks. It really is a good plaster to do this kind of work.
I don't like using the little one. I'm gonna leave a little bit in there in the middle. And let's see how I'm making out this time. And right there. I'm sort of getting it there. I don't want to pull it just yet. I'm just going to get a little shot. And right there. And I can see where I'm getting right here. This is a bad area right here. So I'm going to go here and get it flat. Okay. So I'm just going to these are tricky spots when you got like a beam here. I'm going here. And if I leave a little hole, so be it, because I put so much plaster here. But where that, now I got it, you can tell like I'm getting it straight. Now I'm going to go on this. This is my edge right here to keep it straight. On that. So I'm going here. And I'm just going so gentle now. Now I'm going to see what I can do here. If I can pull this down a bit. Yeah. And I'm going to take the excess and go here. today's Saturday. I'm in by myself. The guys want to go back to work Monday to Friday, and they're winding down. Their time is almost up.
Now I'm bringing it flat with the left section that's already dry, so the two meet. I'm trying to avoid as much sanding as I can. I want to leave that plaster on there as much as I can, and not sand it within, leaving like paper thin plaster behind. And that's where I've seen the biggest failure. Um, yes, this is longer, hands down. Yes, you're using more plaster, everything else, but I don't want to be touching it up, especially in our case. We're going to be spraying all of this. So if you do have a crack, it's a nightmare after when you try to touch it up. It was sprayed wall, and you have a crack. It's really tough. So I don't want to have any work to be redone.
And sometimes I poke a bit because I want to get nice and tight there and make sure that's filled, especially if I'm putting this much plaster on. And I'm kind of going, see what I'm doing now with it? You know? And right there, I just picked up something. So I'm just going to come down, see if I have any more low spots. But this is a total nightmare in this area here. And this will pay dividends when I do the molding. And I clean it off now. Now it's time to just trowel this out. Now I'm gonna go up here and see it. I can see now where I'm going, and I'm a little low right there. And I just want to go. I don't want to pull too much out, and I can feel I picked up something there, right here. Just gonna take it out, and you see how much plaster I have, how deep. But it's getting thicker, and right here is a problem area. So, and then put a little bit in that hole. And I'm almost like now, I could just feel every there. That's it. Walk away. You know you did it. Now I'm just gonna come up here. Try to get an angle right here. And that's it.
This is our bathroom under the stairs, and this is the last thing I have to. I mixed up 90. That isn't ultralight there, or quick light, or whatever they want to call it. And I'm putting on the 91st, kind of not blobbing it in, but making sure there's a lot so I can squeeze it out. With those corners, those cardboard corners, there's a little metal through it actually, which makes it very strong. I'm totally in love with it. I used to use the fiberglass and bend it in there, and it was always hard to get a square corner after. But with these, man, you get a really good square corner, and so it's really working out well. Doing this, I can't say enough about those corners. First time I really used them, and I won't go back not using them. And it's you put the work at the beginning, and then they're solid. Right here, I'm just putting a little bit of tape there. It's a fiberglass tape, not the mesh tape, and it works amazing. Apparently, the fiberglass tape is like 7 times as strong as a paper tape. Yeah, it's like that. So a lot of this stuff, you'll spend a bit of extra money, but you have peace of mind at the end. And there again, you just kind of fill it up. You're in a small room, so you're moving out the bench, jumping up, and I just kind of fit it, and then I'll take my scissors and just trim it a bit on site. Um, and it works pretty good. Don't forget, you have to cut a 45 at the end of those things, so when the next one meets, they don't overlap, and they create a hump. They're a touch thicker than say paper tape, but the paper tape too. I just hate it. I've just seen so many failures, and I'm not there to badmouth it. It's very expensive to do the plastering. It took us a month to do that whole house. Um, I did a lot of like the leveling and everything else, and I had help. They were there, did drywall. They stayed and helped a bit to do the plastering for a few weeks, and they weren't so called professional plasterers, but picked it up pretty fast. So if you're DIYer, just take your time, and remember the end game is leaving a lot of plaster behind and keeping things flat. That's it. You know, um, don't get hung up on thinking, well, I got to do this in a week. If you're going through a house like this, it's taken me so. It's also the winter for us, and driving. We've had a lot of days off, and some days I would have stayed longer, maybe in the summer. Um, it's 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks to do this. I could have had professional plasters who would have probably done it less, but if I asked them to do it this way, they would have heed and haw. They they would have said, "You're nuts. It doesn't need to be done this way. I have so many jobs. They don't call me back." That's not true. I've been to them after. A lot of people do call back, but after a while, they just get so fed up, and they don't see the cracks or anything else. And especially on the ceiling, when you saw when I troweled it there, so many times I put crown molding on those ceiling, and there were so many dips because they didn't know how to trowel fast. They were just more concerned skim coat and light sanding. So that's why I end up doing it this way. You know, we don't want to leave. We don't want to leave it like this, in the sense that there's going to be repairs down the road. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe. We need some comments. We need some views. We're working hard. I'm going to try and show everything at the end. I'm coming at the end of the house, so I'm very excited. I'm doing a lot of amazing things. I think I am, anyways. So please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.